Okay, folks, welcome to another episode of the All Things Adobe Chad and Todd podcast. This is Chad Perkins here with another sweet tutorial in After Effects. This one we need to kind of keep on the down low. There's some super sweet secret things in After Effects I'm going to show you in this tutorial. Now, don't be afraid when I say this, but the things that we're going to cover in this lesson deal with scripts. Now, don't panic. Don't panic on me here. I know nothing whatsoever about scripting. I leave that kind of crap up to Todd. He handles all that kind of gibberish with the math and the syntax and all that crap. I don't do that, and I don't want to do that. That's not why I'm in this business. I'm in this business because I like wizards and firecrackers and things that blow up and fireballs and ninjas and stuff, and that's what I want to get down to the business of. But there is a way in After Effects to play around with scripts and scripting and not know anything whatsoever about scripts. Now, I'm not talking about expressions here. Don't get confused with that. Expressions are what we use in the layers in the comp. It's kind of like the internal language inside of After Effects to control layers. But scripts actually control After Effects. Now, if you're still with me here, you're going to be glad that you are. I haven't seen this talked about anywhere else, so hopefully this is really new and exciting information that you can use. I get a kick out of this. So what we're going to do is go to File, go to Scripts, don't be scared, and what we're going to do is play around with what's called the Demo Palette. The Demo Palette is a secret palette inside of After Effects. You will not find it in the standard window menu. It's only right here. It kind of sounds scary because it has that ooh, scary JSX extension. Don't worry about that. Just go ahead and click on it. But there is a little bit of a problem. It says, hey, you know what? You don't have the right preferences selected so that you can play around with scripts. So let's go get that taken care of. I'm going to click OK here. Now I'm on Windows, so I'm going to go to the Edit menu. But if you're on a Mac, you're going to go to the After Effects menu. I'm then going to go to Preferences, go to the General area of the After Effects Preferences. Now, I'm going to select Allow Scripts to Write Files and Access Network. Even though the Demo Palette is not going to do any of these things, we still need to be able to select this in order to play with scripts. So go ahead and allow scripts to write files and access the network so that you get access to the super mega sweet Demo Palette. So I'm going to click OK here. Then I'm going to go back to File, Scripts, and without further hassling, click on the Demo Palette, and there she is in all of her glory. Folks, these are all scripts in this palette, but they've already been taken care of for you. All of the nerdy crap in the background has already been done. So you and I, that know nothing about scripting, get to benefit from all these cool little plug-in things. Now I'm going to show you a few of them while we're here, but if you ever feel adventurous and you want to know more about what these do or more about the other ones that we're not going to cover, just click on this little question mark. And there's help here for all of the different functions or the scripts of the Demo Palette. Also, most of these have their own individual help that's actually really sophisticated. Just remember, when in doubt, click on the little question mark, either here or in each little individual script palette. Now, the first one that you got to click on here is obviously Shape Time Insanity. What sounds cooler than Shape Time Insanity? Watch this. I'm going to click on Shape Time Insanity. And then it takes a couple seconds, and you can't really tell what it did. But what it did is actually create a new composition in the project panel. Let me move this out of the way here. And I'm going to go over to Shapes. Double-click that, and we will see what was created for us by Shape Time Insanity. Now, if we preview this comp, we will see that what this is, in fact, is insane shape time. Go ahead and play this back. And what we have here is a random smattering of circles and squares and triangles, all played back with random opacity values, scale values, and position values, etc., etc. Now, aside from being just really cool to look at, if we know the super sweet way to replace stuff in After Effects, this becomes particularly beneficial. So I'm going to select this triangle layer at the top here. Basically, these are just solids with masks applied to them. So I'm going to select this airplane layer. I'm going to hold the Alt key and drag this to my triangle layer. And here we have these masks still, so I'm going to hit the letter M to reveal the masks, and one at a time I'm going to select these and delete them, and now we have our airplane. And if we scrub this composition, we have this airplane picking up the same position, rotation, opacity, etc., etc., that the triangle had. So if you want to make a cool, super sweet background with tons of random movement, don't want to spend a bunch of time setting all those manual keyframes for just random movement that you don't really care that much about anyways, try ShapeTime Insanity as a starter. Another cool script here is velocity arrows. I'm going to keep this ShapeTime Insanity comp selected, and I'm going to click velocity arrows. Now what velocity arrows does is it creates a new layer, a guide layer that will not render, with arrows which give you a readout of the velocity and direction of the layer. Let's select a few more of these triangles here and then click velocity arrows for those as well. Notice that some of these are smaller or larger. Well, the bigger the arrow, the faster the velocity. And again, it makes these guide layers automatically so you don't have to worry about them rendering on accident. It's pretty sweet. Speaking of velocity, there's also one called gravity. I'm going to click on gravity, and you'll see that it has its own little palette here. And again, as I mentioned before, we have a little question mark here with the help, and we can say we want more help, and look at all that stuff. Tons of information about this one little palette. Now, that's kind of crazy to me. I mean, this is a lot of effort that Adobe went to just for something that's so hidden. But hey, that's what podcasts are for, right? So I'm going to go over to the gravity composition here. And all you have to do is set settings here for the gravity that you want, and then just click on Run Simulation. I've already taken care of that here with the tank. So if I hit play, then we have this kind of little bouncy ball animation that I spent absolutely no work doing. This simulation did it automatically for me. Pretty sweet. It's a benefit of scripts. They handle all that kind of stuff for you. And again, no code so far, and no code will happen throughout the entire video here. Just straight playing. Straight playing. I'm going to close this out. Now I'm going to go to Find and Replace. Now I have here an homage to the Production Premium Studio. And I have a bunch of text layers here that say After Effects and Premiere Pro and Encore DVD. Problem is that Encore DVD is now just called Encore. So I look like an idiot because of this composition. So what I want to do is go to all those Encore DVD layers and replace them with just Encore. Now that would be a mother because I have millions of layers here. So instead what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the Find and Replace script here. And I am going to select all my layers. I'm just going to select one and hit Control A or Command A on the Mac to select all of my layers. This is very important because Find and Replace is only going to look at A, text layers, and B, layers that are selected. So I'm going to say, hey, Find and Replace. Find Encore DVD and replace it with just Encore. So I'm going to click Replace All. And boom, look at that. Click of a button, all done for me. Totally sweet. You got to love the hidden magic of the old demo palette here. Now, one final one. I'm going to go to this Dupe with Kids composition that I've created. Now, I've essentially set this up already. I have a sun and 3 stars parented to that sun. If I move the sun, you'll see the 3 stars come along for the ride here. Now, this is a weird one, but it's kind of cool, so I thought I'd show it to you. It's Duplicate with Children. So I'm going to click on Duplicate with Children, and it's duplicated the sun and the stars, and it's already set up this parent-child relationship with the duplicates. So if I click and move on this, you'll see that I have 2 sets of suns and 2 sets of stars, all parented independently. So let's say you made a tree with leaves that blow in the wind or whatever, and they're all parented to the tree trunk. And then you said you want 2 trees or 10 trees or 15 trees. Think of the hassle it would be to duplicate all of those layers and then reset up that parent-child relationship again. Maybe you'd have to pre-compose them, but maybe you don't want to pre-compose them. So you can use this Duplicate with Children to duplicate parents and their kids. And so that's pretty much all for our look at the demo palette. And as you can see here, there's plenty more to play around with, such as this render and email, for example. So let's say you are setting up a huge project to render. Maybe you can go out to a bite to eat with the guys. You got your BlackBerry on. And you can have After Effects email you once it's done rendering. Pretty sweet stuff here from this super secret demo palette.